This week on LSR Ventures.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. We're here. We're doing it.
Coffee time.
Another week. Another cup of coffee.
Yeah. We're not in Louisville anymore.
Left Louisville.
We left it. We didn't really get to explore it too much either, so sorry. We did a couple things.
We did a couple things. Didn't make it to Churchill Downs like we said, but you know we're in Kentucky. We'll get there. Maybe
Someday.
we'll try to swing by before Derby week. See what's going on. Maybe see some of the races before the actual Derby, because I don't think that I want to be in that mess of a crowd.
That's too crowded. We did go and do something with a bunch of crowds. We went to a gun show at the Expo Center there.
That was huge crowds.
And flea market. It was gun show / flea market.
And cheer competition.
Oh yeah, and a cheer competition.
And I think there was like a ladies' convention too.
Yeah.
It's a big giant.
going
That
on.
it was the Kentucky Exposition Center. I think we got a clip that will probably show of us driving into the parking lot. But here we go to the gun show / flea market.
It's a huge parking lot. I don't know where to park yet.
In half
We're
a
at the
mile,
Kentucky
turn left.
Exposition Center. What do you think, Landon? He wants to play Pokemon Go.
Catch 'em all.
Legendaries, he says, are spawning in the wild. Legendary. Legendary. Parking lot, but it was like, I don't know, probably a 3 or 4 minute drive from the gate
Yeah.
to the actual parking area.
Yeah.
So it was pretty big.
It's huge. Bigger than the Portland Expo for sure. Like 3 or 4 of them put together.
Yeah, for sure. Really large. It's also their fairgrounds too, so there's a bunch of like roller coasters and stuff around. So it's pretty cool. The gun show was overwhelming. There was so many people there, it was hard to even see what was on the tables. So we kind of just stayed at the periphery, and they had some old military guns that were pretty cool to see. Lots of old shotguns.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. There was a lot of people.
A lot of people.
A lot of people walking around, checking things out. A lot of people carrying guns that they just bought. Some were carrying them kind of awkward.
There were some people there that was like, maybe you should get a lesson before you operate that submachine gun.
But it was kind of neat to see all the older stuff, older military stuff too, for sure.
Yeah. The flea market was a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
It was pretty busy too, and you know it's kind of like fair vendors almost.
Yeah.
Like you would see it at the regular fair. Not nearly as much cool stuff as we see in the peddlers malls.
Yeah, we're experts now at you know,
At looking at junk.
thrifting. So
Thrifting is
we will judge the junk.
You call it thrifting, I call it looking at junk.
Another thing we did in Louisville is take our dog to get a bath because it was desperately needed. It was going on 2 months, and he was a little stinky. But the cool thing is they have these car washes called Mr. G's Car Wash that also has a little bath for dogs open 24/7. So kind of weird, but kind of cool at the same time because we needed that. We didn't want to take them to a place and have to provide vet paperwork and rabies shots and all that stuff and work on their schedule. So this worked for us. I sat in the car. It was cold outside. It was still like in the 30s.
It was.
I didn't want to get out.
Another reason why we didn't do too much exploring in Louisville is
just cold.
Rainy and wet. It was like a torrent of river through our camp area. But the KOA we did stay at in Louisville was pretty nice. It had a little dog walk area, which was one of the bigger ones we've had, so we were able to get Winston off the leash a lot more there. It had a big bounce pillow that Landon really enjoyed. I mean, it was probably 20 feet wide by 40 feet long.
It was big.
And it's just like this pillow, and there was other kids there, so you got to enjoy that bounce pillow. So it was a pretty good KOA.
Yeah.
Louisville South, I think is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And we did end up going to some Peddler's Malls. There's about 4 in that area. So we killed some time doing that.
Still no Idiocracy, guys.
Still no Idiocracy.
I don't know. Like, we're desperate enough to buy full price.
I'm desperate enough to drive all the way to Indiana.
Yeah, we drove to
to go
Indiana.
to their Peddler's Mall.
We've been going to a few different states around here.
We're checking it out, yeah.
But we drove north Kentucky to drop off earnest money for the house that we were looking at. And since it was so close to Cincinnati, we decided, why not? So we went over across the Ohio River.
OHIO.
And we went to the Cincinnati Zoo. So that was kind of fun. I was pleasantly surprised. We judge zoos as well. Sorry.
Well, it was a combo too, though.
It was a combo. It was a botanical garden as well. Okay, we're at the Cincinnati Zoo in Ohio. Yet another state. But this time it's zoo. But it's also what, babe? Zoo and?
Botanical garden.
It's really cold out, though.
It's
so
chilly.
cold.
You know, the botanical garden part, it's tough because it's off season.
Yeah.
But the zoo was pretty good. It also off season. It's called their penguin season. So, you know, it was half price, which was great. If you're in the area, know that in the wintertime it's half price. Or if you get a zoo membership, a lot of the zoos have an agreement to give discounts if you're a member at a different zoo.
Yeah.
The pluses were it was nice. It was cold though. It's a big zoo compared to the Oregon Zoo. It's about, I think, what was it, 10 more acres?
Yeah, it wasn't much bigger, but it was nice, like the Oregon Zoo too. It was laid out pretty nice. It was clean.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of people because
Not a
it
whole
was
lot of people.
freezing. But they had a lot of animals that we didn't have at the Oregon Zoo. So, and we did post some pictures on Instagram, but we'll throw them up here again in whatever video clips as well.
Yeah.
Nice. Is it cold?
Yeah, I'm taking a video.
Oh, really?
Oh.
No. Shout out to the dude at the cafe. Gave us free hot cocoa. Right, Landon?
Free hot cocoa.
How is it?
Great.
It's great.
There were a lot of animals that weren't on exhibit though, due to it being off season, which is understandable. One of their feature exhibits is Fiona the hippo, and unfortunately there's no indoor viewing area and it was too cold for her to be out, so we didn't get to see her.
Sorry, Fiona. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. But it was a good day.
was.
Spent a few hours there and you know, kind of capped off the trip up to northern Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. On to the house inspection. You guys are probably curious about it because we did tell you about it
We've had
in the last video.
a few texts, a few comments about it, and honestly, it went about as well as I expected.
Yes.
We knew there were lots of issues going in, and they were confirmed.
They were, yes. I mean, for us to go through, walk this house, and understand, yes, it needs a lot of work, and then have a professional confirm that, it kind of makes you second think. You're like, oh, okay, that is a lot of work. It's a little bit daunting, but he did say it has good bones.
He did say it has good bones. Shout out to Lewis Home Inspection, I think is the name of it.
Yeah.
It's out of his range, but he gave us what I think is a fair rate for the amount of work he did. He crawled under the house. He got up on the roof. You know, he tested all the outlets. He tried to test the water, which was turned off, which kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
And then when we got there, it was right toward the tail end of his inspection. He gave us a very thorough walkthrough. I think it took about 45 minutes of him walking us through everything he saw as an issue and saying, you know, this is kind of what you got to look out for when you're approaching this problem. So it was awesome to have that. But that kind of leads us into, you know, our buying experience so far as well.
Yes.
I want to say. So we're not especially thrilled with how the process has been going. I'm not trying to, you know, throw anybody under the bus or anything, but it hasn't been as a pleasant experience as selling our house.
We're used to.
Yeah.
So back home, we worked with realtors. She's pretty awesome. If anyone needs someone, you know, we'll give you her information.
Sure.
You know who you are. And we never felt pressured.
Never felt pressure. Never
you know,
trying to convince us of something that we're not into.
Right.
Yeah.
And so coming out here, it's definitely different. Not a whole lot of information brought to the table on the homes that we were looking at. Not any like paperwork to like MLS listings,
not even a listing.
Or it was just showing up and here's the house. It's just the person unlocking the door, basically.
Pretty much how it was. And I think part of it is just the experience level of this realtor. And one of the things that took us by surprise at first, which, you know, it's understandable. We've only bought one house.
Yeah.
It's only sold one house. We don't have a lot of experience. But it was the idea of signing an exclusive agreement after seeing one property. And we were kind of hesitant on that. And we kind of went back and forth and really made them line out what it was that they wanted us to sign the agreement to. And it came to Northern Kentucky in these counties with this price range, which was like, okay, we can do that. But then with this house we're looking at, so far all of our issues have been last minute things. So we wanted to extend our inspection period after getting this thorough walkthrough.
Yes.
Because we want to have an electrician come in. There's some electrical stuff that I don't want to mess with myself. I'm not an electrician, and I'm not trying to pull permits and then have inspections that don't pass or anything like that. So we want to have an electrician come in. So we only had a 7-day inspection window to start, which,
short.
if you're buying a home, get as long of an inspection window as you can.
Yes.
Because especially in a rural area, there's
hard
not a
to
lot of
find
people available.
Yeah. Even our inspector, he drove 50 miles to this house. So it is a learning curve for us. You know, you kind of looking back, it's like, oh, why wouldn't you ask for something longer? But you know, you don't know until you're in it, and sometimes you learn the hard way.
Yep.
And we worked through it. We got the extended inspection period
At the 12th hour.
Yes, very close. Like, we actually
half hour.
signed to terminate the purchase contract.
To protect our earnest money.
Yeah, to protect our earnest money. Just in case they didn't sign to extend. Because they verbally said, yes, that's not going to be a problem. But they didn't sign the paperwork. So, and then, you know, our realtor, he's kind of put in a hard place too. Not only with being new to the realty market,
I'm pretty sure he's pretty new.
I'm pretty sure. But, you know, he's dealing with people that move at a slower pace, country folk, you know. It's a little frustrating at times, but we are getting through it.
Well, and that's another thing, just buying a home, stick to your gut feelings, stick to your guns, and I think personally, if your realtor's not working for you, you need to kind of put the pressure to make them work for you.
Yeah.
And that's something that we're learning to do. You know, we haven't had to do that in the past, but, you know, really just expressing what you need and what you're going to tolerate. And, you know, I think we're getting there.
Yeah. Definitely know what you're comfortable with, and it's like what he said, stick to your guns on that. So
enough with that bad stuff. So
those are
that's
just
not
the
bad,
tips.
I guess. Yeah.
Just tips.
It's not bad, but you know what we're dealing with right now is tomorrow we have an electrician coming out, giving us quotes on what it's going to take to really get the electrical stuff up to snuff, if you will. We also have a septic guy coming out to check the septic system and see, you know, what work that's going to take. Excuse me. The home has been vacant for a while, so the water has been turned off, and who knows what's going on with the septic. So we want to have those issues looked at before we actually fully commit on moving forward with the purchase.
Yeah. And so hopefully that will be okay and still be within our realm of what we think it's going to cost to rewire or whatnot.
Or just update, yeah.
And just update. And then hopefully, yeah, we can move forward. And our new close date is the 15th. So we're still hopeful on this house. We still see all the potential. It was just, you know, little hang-ups with the people involved. So on a different note, it has been warming up.
T-shirt weather.
It's no longer in the 30s. Thank God. We're getting through the winter.
It's like 68 yesterday.
Yeah,
it was warm.
Nice. We're at an RV park that's close to a lake that has a bunch of trails. So we did a little venturing on one of the trails. Yeah. Not too far. We're going to try to look for more places to go hiking. Just to get out, get the dog out, and just do something else other than drive all over the place looking at houses. And
peddlers malls.
And peddlers malls, yes. Although they do have one close by here that we've already been to.
We checked it out. Well, I think that was one of the first ones we went out without even buying just a DVD or something. You know?
Yeah, we didn't buy anything in that one. That was the very first one out of like the 20 we've been to.
We haven't been to 20.
It feels like it.
Yeah, so we'll go hiking today. We tried to go to the Folk Art Museum in the area we're in. Unfortunately, it was closed. Like, dang.
Yeah.
But there's a few other things. Once we get closer to the weekend, we'll be able to do a couple of antique malls around here we're going to check out. But it's been fun. This park's nice. It's got a decent kids play area as well. A little basketball court. We've been shooting some hoops. So
we've just been trying to relax more too.
Trying to slow down, yeah.
We've been go.
We've been on the move a lot. Been moving around the state a lot, and it's nice just to kind of pump the brakes, not be eating out. You know, we've been cooking a lot more food in the trailer, which is...
Eating out is expensive.
It's expensive.
When you don't have an income, you start tracking things and you're like, wait, do I really need that McDonald's?
Do you ever really need McDonald's?
Yeah, you don't. A PB&J is fine, guys.
Yeah. So hopefully, you know, the next episode we'll have a firm confirmation or denial of the house. And then we'll end up looking at other ones maybe. But hopefully we're moving forward and, you know, getting our stuff over here to be able to start moving in the house and start really making it ours. Yeah. I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
We'll see.
Until next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
See ya.
Like and subscribe for more amazing content, and comment down below what you liked most about this video.
They're all going out. That's fatty.
You're just going up for air.
Look at their little holes. You think that's a giner?
What was that?
You think that's a giner?
I don't know. We'll have to ask the YouTube people.
Their noses.
Are you recording?